Warning, Taylor Swift is not a psyop.
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 Taylor
Swift is not a psyop. Taylor Swift is not a psyop.
Taylor Swift is not a psyop.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Now it's time for another Pimpy's reaction video. Yay! You're the devil in disguise. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about Taylor Swift. Is this the devil in disguise? Many people think so, because there's lots of conspiracies about her on the internet. But I did enjoy checking out her situation during this election. She is credited for Joe Biden winning the 2020 election. This time around in 2024, a lot of celebrities came out and they kind of fell flat on their face. So let's get into this and see what kind of person Taylor Swift is along with her friends and quickly just touch on the election situation. So let's go ahead and get into this. So there was an article that came out that said Taylor Swift's body double from Chiefs Steelers game reveals herself. Now this was December 27th of 2024, so it wasn't that long ago. But let's take a look at what the girl has to say and take a look at the girl and you tell me how much they look alike.
Hi, so this is really random. I've never posted on TikTok before, but today I was at the Steelers Kansas City game for Christmas, and I was sitting in a box seat with my best friend. And we were having a really, really nice time, you know, like we were like, oh, yay, we're so excited. And I would see that a lot of people would like take pictures of me or wave to me. And I would wave back, you know, like I didn't want to be mean or rude. And I was like, oh, maybe they just think I'm Taylor Swift. Because I can see it like from far away. Maybe they thought because of my hair or like the way my makeup was done. Because I had red lipstick on. But yeah, people would do that. And then at the end of the game, a staff member came up to me and they were like, you know, you're all over like Twitter and like TikTok, right? And I was like, what are you talking about? And I look on Twitter and I'm scrolling through Twitter and I just see a bunch of pictures of me and my friend in the box. And they're like, oh my gosh, Taylor Swift was here. Taylor Swift is in my hometown. And I was like, oh, that's me and my best friend. So I'm sorry to the people that like thought I was Taylor Swift. But yeah, everybody was like, oh, like, is this Taylor Swift in the white sweater? It was me. And there were like a bunch of like videos of like me standing up or like me sitting down or like talking to my friend. You know, it was a whole thing. So, and I have pictures of, like, me and my friend at the game. Like, I have pictures of us, like, in our box. I have pictures of, like, us where we were sitting. Like, you know, I have a lot of pictures. So, yeah. I'm so sorry to the people that thought I was Taylor Swift. But I hope you guys had a nice time otherwise, you know, like, I hope you guys had a really nice time at the game. But yeah, very sorry about that one.
Yeah, as you can tell, this poor girl appears traumatized. But my question to you is, what was the over-under on how many times she used the word like? Did you win? Anyways, this poor girl, she sounds traumatized. What do you guys think? So often people have these competitions, Taylor Swift lookalike. For example, here's one from the UK. Take a look at them. Do they look like Taylor Swift to you? The greatest thing about this picture is the girl on the right. Who's Taylor Swift anyways? But if you really take a look at Taylor Swift, she does look like a doppelganger to somebody else. This is Antoine LaVey. He is the founder of the Church of Satan. What are the odds of this? Well, he had a daughter. And if I was going to have somebody enter a contest on a Taylor Swift lookalike, she would be it. Zena LeVay. This is her over here on the right. Now, take a look at the two, and you tell me, out of all the people that you've seen that are so-called Taylor Swift lookalikes, which one looks the closest to Taylor Swift? Or should I say Taylor Swift looks a lot like Zena LeVay? You guys let me know what you think down below in the comment. Anyways, between scaring the bejeebus out of a girl that slightly, if at best, looks like Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift's body double from Chiefs Steelers game reveals herself? Really? Body double? There's only one Taylor Swift, and yet we all probably know at least one person who kind of looks like Taylor Swift. Yeah, Antoine LaVey's daughter, Zena. Look, I don't think anybody out there can beat Zena. She looks exactly like Taylor Swift, or actually the other way around. Recently, the Swift doppelganger phenomenon occurred at the Chiefs-Steelers game in Pittsburgh on Christmas Day. Folks on Instagram believe that they spotted Taylor Swift in the stands, presumably there to support her paramour. She's dating one of the people from the Kansas City Chiefs, Travis Kelce. But despite the fact that the Chiefs did win and Kelce had his 77th touchdown catch, Swift was not physically present at the stadium. So how come there were Instagram posts showing her sitting in the suite in the stadium during the game? Turns out it wasn't Taylor Swift, but a woman who looks a bit like her from a distance. Yeah, a far, far distance. She doesn't look like her. Not at all. Come to find out that Taylor Swift is actually a billionaire. Yeah, she is that big. She's actually a billionaire. And a lot of people say because she sold her soul to the devil. We know that the Democrats recruited her because they're helping push her success. Recruited her to help Kamala Harris, except for backfired in spectacular fashion. So Trump shares fake Swifties for Trump image. Yeah, at first he was joking about something and there was a person who had a Swiftie for Trump t-shirt on. But as time went on, we found out, well, they weren't fake. They were real. And boy, howdy, there were a ton of them.
Voting Donald Trump, baby. 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 Voting Donald Trump, baby.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but Republican conservative women, especially Trump supporters, are so much hotter than liberals, man. They are. But anyways, this started a huge Swifties for Trump movement. So it wasn't fake. There were a lot of people out there. And when they were being interviewed, they said, look, if people are going to make us choose between the two, we're just not going to do that. We love Taylor Swift for her music. But when it comes to politics, we support Trump. That's just the way it is.
I've never been with a gangster, but
They squares.
not squares, but I like
It's just a regular guy.
good boys and girls. Yeah, that's
When I first heard this, man, I fell out of my seat because it's true. People are like, well, one of these days we'll have a gay president. I was like, what do you mean? You have a bi president when Obama was in office. Okay, you guys got to do your research on Obama and the Down Low Club. Yeah, go ahead and research that and it'll blow your mind. But anyways, I thought this was funny. Look, Taylor Swift has some friends with questionable backgrounds. There's a lot of questions about Ice Spice. A lot of people believe she's satanic. And there's lots of reasons why. Here she is sporting an upside-down cross, is what we're told. This is what it looks like up close. But does this really mean she's satanical? Does this mean she worships the devil? Does this mean she sold her soul like Taylor Swift? Here she is at the Super Bowl with Taylor Swift. Let's watch her actions. See her throwing those little devil signs with her fingers and then holding up her chain to symbolize that she's with the in crowd, the Satanist crowd. That's what we're being told. This goes back to what your belief is about the upside down cross.
The upside down cross has been a staple in horror movies and TV shows, representing evil and the Antichrist. It's seen as a symbol of the devil, not something you'd expect to find in a church. But what if we told you that the upside down cross started out as a symbol of Christian martyrdom, and even today is associated with one of the most important saints of the Catholic Church? Yes, that's right. This variant of the cross is both a Christian and an anti-Christian symbol at the same time. The upside down cross is known by many names: inverted cross, cross of St. Peter, Petrine cross. This cross is associated with St. Peter. The Apostle Peter died in Rome by crucifixion during the time of Nero, around AD 64. He had one request regarding his crucifixion, that he be crucified upside down, as he did not feel worthy of being crucified in the same manner as Jesus, that is, on a regular upright cross. Because Peter was the rock upon which the Church of Jesus Christ was built, the symbol of the upside-down cross became highly significant in Christian iconography. It represented the papacy because the Pope is considered to be Peter's successor. It was also used in churches and in Christian artwork to symbolize humility and unworthiness when compared to Jesus. There were no negative connotations associated with the original meaning of the Petrine cross. It was just another variant of the Latin cross, associated with martyrdom, humility, and faithfulness to Christ. We should point out that in Catholicism, the inverted cross is accepted and valued, but an inverted crucifix is not. To clarify, a crucifix features an image of Jesus on the cross.
Right now, I know a lot of you are confused. If you're just talking about the symbol of the cross, if it's upside down, that is not a symbol of the devil. They're talking about the crucifixion. That is a cross that has Jesus Christ on it. That is different. If the cross with Jesus Christ is upside down, that is a symbol of Satanism. Okay? So if your cross has Jesus on it and it's upside down, those are Satanists. Okay? But if it's just a plain cross without Jesus on it, two different things. Make sure you know the difference. An upside down cross is a positive and supported symbol of Christianity. But if Jesus, the crucifix, is on there and it's upside down, well, now that's a different story altogether.
If a crucifix is inverted, it appears disrespectful and irreverent. Symbols are dynamic, and their meanings change or acquire new associations over time. This is especially the case for ancient symbols. Think the swastika, a symbol of well-being, today a symbol of racism and hatred. Or the ichthys, a symbol of fertility, today a symbol of Christianity.
Now, call me crazy. That's not the same symbol that we've just saw.
In the same way, over time, the Petrine cross became associated with anti-Christian perceptions and the Satanic Church. This is simply because visually, it's the opposite of the Latin cross, and so can be viewed as standing against all the things that Christianity stands for. As the cross is the most recognized symbol of Christianity, an upside-down cross could represent anti-Christian sentiments. This negative view of the upside-down cross has been greatly promoted by popular culture and media. Here are just some instances where the Petrine cross has been used in negative ways. In many horror movies, especially those with demonic themes, an upside-down cross is portrayed as the harbinger of evil. This includes the Amityville Horror, Paranormal Activity, and The Conjuring. Glenn Benton, an American death metal musician, branded the Petrine cross on his forehead as a symbol of his anti-Christian views. Inverted crosses are used as a symbol in certain ceremonies of the Satanic Church. Lady Gaga used an inverted cross in her music video, Alejandro, seemingly to symbolize a penis. While the upside-down cross...
You know, I don't care how many times I look at an upside-down cross, to me, it does not resemble a penis at all.
While the upside-down cross is controversial, in Christian circles it tends to be viewed as positive and wholesome.
That's not true. I can't tell you how many times I've spoken to Christians who have seen the upside-down cross and they don't know the difference between the upside-down cross and an upside-down crucifix. So as soon as they see the upside-down cross, they automatically attack the individual sporting an upside-down cross.
It's best to view this symbol in its context when making out what the image is being used for. While you might want to wear a patron cross as an expression of your religious beliefs, you may find that you have to explain the actual meaning of this cross, as most people immediately assume that an inverted cross is something negative. Do you see the patron cross as negative or positive?
So again, if a person is wearing an upside-down cross, that does not mean automatically that they're Satanists, all right? Recently, there was a big what-to-do about the fact that the Vatican was going to open up and put cameras next to the tomb of St. Peter's. You know, St. Peter's, the guy we just talked about, being hung upside down on a cross. They're going to put cameras in there so you could look 24 hours a day. And they were going to do this on Christmas. And then the word got out that this is right next to the tomb of Lucifer. What do you mean a tomb of Lucifer? How the F does Lucifer have a tomb?
There is no tomb of Lucifer anywhere in, at, near, or under the Vatican, at least not if you understand Lucifer to refer to Satan, which it didn't until the 5th century CE at the earliest.
Listen what this man is saying. There's no tomb referring to Lucifer, not as you know it. I thought Lucifer was there all the way from the beginning.
This is just an idiotic conspiracy theory that seems to me to have gotten its start from an uncritical and a rather conspiratorial perusal of this map of the Vatican Necropolis from St. Peter's Basilica.info.
Now look, here it is. If people are going to educate other individuals, and this includes the church, don't you think you should distinguish between the two? Don't you think you should tell people, well, you know, Lucifer really wasn't mentioned until CE, you know, something like that. But a lot of people don't get that kind of education.
In the upper left, you'll see a tomb labeled U, and the list at the bottom places the name Lucifer next to the U, and Lucifer is just spelled incorrectly.
Pimpy, what is he talking about? He's talking about this, the map of the Vatican Necropolis. What does necropolis mean? A necropolis is a large, elaborate cemetery, usually located outside of a city, and is often containing elaborate tomb monuments. The word necropolis comes from the Greek word, which means city of the dead. The map of the Vatican Necropolis, because under the Vatican, there are a lot of tombs. So he's talking about the one that is marked U. And you can see right here, it says U, Lucifer. So is there a misspelling or is there a misunderstanding? Does it really say Lucifer, or does it say something different? This is the one that people believe is the tomb of Lucifer. When I heard this, I was like, hold on there, Sparky. What do you mean tomb of Lucifer? How the hell does Lucifer have a tomb under the Vatican? So Lucifer is spelled different. I don't know if that means anything. It could just be a misspelling. But the fact that they had the tomb of Lucifer did bring a lot of conspiracies out.
Why that name for this tomb if you click on that link. But it does lead you to this 1986 guide to the Vatican Necropolis, where we see the name Lucifer occurring a grand total of 1 time. Here in the index in the very middle, Mausoleum U, the Lucifer tomb. You'll notice the other tombs are the tomb of personal name or the tomb of family name. But this is not the tomb of Lucifer, it's just the Lucifer tomb. So this is probably a title, perhaps associated with some graffiti that was found in the tomb, or because it was connected in some way with one of the prominent Lucifers from the 4th century CE, like Lucifer of Cagliari, who was a prominent defender of Athanasius and the Trinity. But I think it's probably more likely just a title because somehow the word Lucifer was associated with it.
Like you said, I think it's likely. Look, you can't come on and make a video telling people it's not this, and then in your opinion, you think it's likely. No, either you know or you don't know.
Something important to note here is that if you look at this map, it shows you the purple is associated with pre-Constantinian structures. So this tomb is in purple, so this is a pre-Constantinian tomb, and any writings or graffiti would probably also be pre-Constantinian. And this is important because in the 300 CE, Lucifer was not a reference to Satan. It was just a generic title, and there were prominent Christians who had this as their personal name.
It talks about Lucifer, the devil, and Satan. So Lucifer was a Latin translation of a story told about a king Nimrod. Satan means adversary. It's like a job title. Satan's job was to question everything God did. Lucifer is a translation in the Latin meaning light bearer or the bearer of light. So you can go on and on about this, and there's different beliefs of what people think, and you can get into huge fights over this. This is why when I say, before you even go down these paths, before you even start reading anything, including scripture, you better have a relationship with God. Because if you don't have that, none of this is going to make sense, and you're going to be confused every single time.
It wasn't until Jerome retranslated the Bible into Latin, giving us the Vulgate around 400 CE, that the seeds were planted for the identification of Satan as Lucifer. Because Jerome chose the title Lucifer to render the Hebrew Halel, shining one, in Isaiah 14:12, which is just a sarcastic reference to the king of Babylon as a deity associated with the planet Venus.
See, he's talking about this, King Nimrod. The whole story that is being translated into Latin is about the story of a king named Nimrod. The fallen king is what he's known as. And during the translation, it didn't come out right. And it comes out as a story about an angel named Lucifer who fell from the heaven. Anyways, I don't want to go down paths that piss people off. You need to do your own research.
Jerome also used Lucifer elsewhere, including in 2 Peter 1:19, where the reference to the morning star rising in your hearts is almost certainly a symbolic reference to Jesus, and perhaps riffing on the reference in Numbers to a star rising out of Jacob. And so Lucifer, at least when Jerome translated the Vulgate, was used to refer both to Jesus and to the king of Babylon, who is being sarcastically cast as a deity.
It's weird because he's not saying who that king is. We're talking about King Nimrod. There is a confusion between the story of King Nimrod and the fallen angels and the word Lucifer. Lucifer being a fallen angel. No. The story is King Nimrod, the fallen king. The way it was translated was not right. Did the church do anything to make that correction? No. It's like this huge debate that goes on about the number of the beast. All right? They tell you what? The number of the beast is 666. Really? Because later on they found older scripture that they translated, and what does it say? That the number of the beast is 616, not 666. The church knows about this, and when I say the church, I mean the Vatican, but they didn't do anything to make the correction. I would respect you more if you came out and said, look, we did a misinterpretation. What this really means is this. My bad, we're sorry. I would respect you more. But the fact that they carried a lie on for many, many centuries means they have no credibility.
Not until the 5th century CE, when Isaiah 14:12 began to be renegotiated as a reference to Satan, that the name Lucifer then began to be understood as a reference to Satan. And Augustine is one of the main popularizers of this renegotiated identification of Lucifer. And the fact that Lucifer refers to Jesus in 2 Peter 1:19 was just ignored. So this tomb is not the tomb of Lucifer, and certainly not the tomb of Lucifer as Satan. It probably predates the renegotiation of the referent of the title Lucifer in the Hebrew Bible. So you can safely ignore this idiotic conspiracy theory.
No, well, how can we ignore it when you constantly say in your videos that, in my opinion, there's a feeling, I'm pretty sure? No. If you're confident, you say, this is what it means, this is how it ended up this way, and you're confident. So is Ice Spice a Satanist because she wears an upside-down cross? Nah, I think there's more to it than just the fact that she wears an upside-down cross. There's so many conspiracies out there about entertainers who've sold their souls And they go, look, she got an upside down, or he's got an upside down cross. I'm like, no. That doesn't mean they're Satanists. Depends on their intent. What do they mean by this? What are they trying to imply by this? I tell you, the thing that is very interesting is I remember there were tons of photographs of Beyonce wearing sweats that had the number 666 on it, a picture of Baphomet on her sweats, quotes from Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley is known as a Satanist, and people are losing their minds. I said, is she repping Satanism? I hope a lot of these things are eye-openers to you. Anyways, I'll catch you later. I'm out.